Jóhann remained beside the stream. Bring it home. The words had been clear, their meaning was not. He looked back across the water. The forge lay somewhere beyond the trees. He had already carried the wedge there. He had placed it on the worn stone and walked away. If the old forge was its home, the iron had refused to remain in it. Jóhann took the wedge from his coat. 3 marks crossed its edge. He turned it in his hand, where, then, he did not expect an answer. None came. Jóhann put the wedge away and continued along the stream. He chose to follow the water rather than return to the forge. Whatever had spoken to him could speak again if it wished. He would not wander back into the hollow simply because 3 words had been whispered among the trees. The stream widened as he followed it. In places the ice had broken, exposing dark water beneath. The land gradually descended. Jóhann began recognizing the shape of the country. A ridge appeared through the trees. He had seen it before, not from the forest. From the road, he stopped. For the first time since leaving it, he knew where he was. The road should lie beyond the ridge. Jóhann quickened his pace. The hammer did not sound. Neither did the voice. By late afternoon, he reached higher ground. Through the trees below him ran a pale line beneath the snow. The road. Jóhann stood looking at it. Relief came quietly. Nothing had prevented him from finding it. No strange turn had returned him to the forge. No hammer had called him away. The road was simply there. He descended the slope. When his boots reached the old wheel scars, Jóhann stopped. He remembered walking the same road before the first hammer blow. It seemed longer ago than it was. He turned east. Home lay many days beyond the mountain. He had taken only a few steps when something occurred to him. Jóhann stopped again. Bring it home. He had assumed the words referred to the wedge. Perhaps they did. But he had also assumed that home meant the forge. That assumption had been his own. The voice had never told him to return. It had told him to bring something home. Jóhann looked east along the road, his home. He almost dismissed the thought. Why would a piece of iron from a forgotten forge belong there? He had no answer. Then he remembered something his father kept beside the hearth. An old iron tool, too worn for work, too small for splitting timber. His father had never used it. As a boy, Jóhann had once asked what it was. His father had turned the iron over in his hand before putting it back. Something from my father's time, he had said. Nothing worth keeping. Yet he had kept it. Jóhann stood motionless on the road. He reached into his coat. The wedge rested in his palm. 3 marks. For the first time, he wondered whether he had seen marks like them before. Not here. At home. He could not be certain. He had been a boy. The memory was old. But it was there. Jóhann closed his hand around the wedge. The hammer struck once, not from behind him. Jóhann turned. The forest was silent. He faced east again. The hammer struck once more. This time from somewhere ahead. This time from somewhere ahead.